New York Times says that about 21% of the country was in favor of this war before we started. That is a very, very low number. Representative Greene, let me start with you. Should we have gone into this war?
Absolutely not. And I'm a 3-time Trump voter. I also campaigned with the president for the past 6 years in his 2020 campaign, also in the 2024 campaign. And this was something that we promised to America over and over again on rally stages across the country, was no more foreign wars, no more regime change, and that we would put America first. And I'm very anti-war. I'm largely against it. And I know many of the people that voted for President Trump are against it as well. And I'll just say this, Cenk, we have not seen a good case laid out of why we're at war with Iran. And I think Americans overwhelmingly are against it. And they really are more interested in seeing a larger focus on domestic issues. And it's just a shame that as we're going into spring break and summer, families are once again seeing gas prices rise, the cost of diesel rise. Farmers are being hurt by fertilizer costs rising because 30% of the world's fertilizer goes through the Strait. So this is absolutely not what we voted for, and I'm very much against it.
Senator Turner, should we have gone to war?
No, absolutely not. I mean, the Congresswoman and I are in total agreement. The impact of this nationally and also internationally, the whole notion of what affects one directly affects us all indirectly. It was irresponsible. The president certainly did not get authorization from Congress. It is really a shame that we have far too many Congress members, especially of the GOP, who have abdicated their responsibility to be a co-equal branch of government. And when it comes to matters of war, something that should really never happen, but rare if it has to happen, just the cavalier nature by which the president did this, and standing up before Americans and saying to them, we're gonna lose some people, as if the working class, it will be the sons and daughters of working class people in this country who will bear the overwhelming brunt of this war. And as we pivot into what is happening in the nation of Iran, to even look at the innocent civilians there that are impacted, the pollution to their air, to their water, to their food, and for us to think that there will not be consequences and repercussions, the bombing of that school that killed those little girls. I mean, you cannot war your way to peace. And the number one fact pattern that I think the American people understand very clearly is that there was no imminent threat from this nation at the time that the president took action without Congress. It goes without saying that the regime is abusive, no doubt. You're not gonna get any argument with that. But you don't war your way to peace in terms of trying to help the people of that nation. So the president was absolutely wrong, and the Congress needs to hold him accountable.
Okay, so far we've got Senator Nina Turner, co-chair of Bernie Sanders' presidential campaign, Marjorie Taylor Greene, as America first as it gets, agreeing we should not have gone to war. But there's a lot more on the war that I want to talk to you guys about. Right now, the administration is saying that it's easy. In fact, Trump talked to G7 leaders, and he said, according to Axios, Trump told G7 leaders in a virtual meeting Wednesday that Iran is about to surrender. According to 3 officials from G7 countries, briefed on the contents of the call 24 hours later, Iran's new supreme leader issued his first public statement vowing to keep fighting. Now let me show you a clip of Stephen Miller telling the American people through Fox News, don't worry, we're winning easily. So let's watch that.
Tell us about the progress of Operation Epic Fury.
Well, I think it's important for your viewers, Jesse, and the American people to know that there's never in history been a more total asymmetric, one-sided annihilation of the enemy than you are witnessing that is unfolding right now in Iran.
Marjorie, are we winning?
I honestly don't know if we're winning or losing, but the president told us that this would be a 4-day, he's calling it an excursion. It's turning into weeks. We're losing our great men and women in the military. 13 have been killed now. I'm a big supporter of our military and certainly praying for them and their families, who I'm sure are so concerned. Now we're seeing an escalation. I watched Secretary Hegseth's press conference this morning. and he talked about there would be no mission creep. And then it was announced later on after that we're sending thousands of Marines to the Middle East. It seems to be to the Strait. Which sounds like boots on the ground. So this is certainly an escalation, and you don't escalate when you're winning. You certainly don't need to escalate when you're winning. It's very sad, and I completely agree with the senator that the loss of life is a true tragedy. The innocent people that are being killed in Iran, that are being affected by their air, the quality of their air after the oil refineries were hit, but also the children that were bombed in the little girls' school. Here in America, our children are going to school and they're not being bombed. And none of this actually should be happening, but it doesn't seem that we're winning. The war is ongoing, and it seems to be more of an escalation. And I just want to finish with this. I'll wrap real quick. This isn't a war for America. This is a war for Israel. And this was an unprovoked war. President Trump told us back in the summer that they had completely wiped out Iran's nuclear capabilities, and he chastised anyone in the media that dare question him on that. And so, no, I don't think we're winning. I think we're escalating, and I have great concern of where it's going.
Yeah, so as I said earlier in the Young Turks, it's not like they're about to take Albuquerque. But that doesn't mean that we're going to quote unquote win. Did we win in Afghanistan? Did we win in Vietnam and Iraq, etc.? Don't forget, Noble Mobile saving you a ton of money. So a lot of people are signing up now and beginning to realize, what the hell, why am I paying so much to Verizon and AT&T? So your bill's only $50 a month, but it can actually be less because they give you money back if you don't use your data. So if you're paying more than $50, there's no reason to not switch. It's crazy not to switch because same phone, same number, same contacts, literally nothing changes. TYT.com/switch, TYT.com/switch. All right, we'll be right back. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.